In this video, we'll be taking a look at all today's NBA matchups, and I'll break them all down with free winning picks so you can bet smarter and win bigger. But first, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get our picks the second they drop, because when the lines move, the early birds cash in. And if you want the full winning sport picks experience, head over to wspicks.com and check out our VIP packages, or grab a free consultation with one of our professional sports consultants for the sharpest edge you'll find anywhere. That's where the real plays live. We are your bookmaker's worst nightmare. These are the games we're hammering, the ones the books can't afford you to bet. This is Winning Sport Picks. The free picks are about to drop, and they're coming in hot. Pelicans versus Pacers is lined with New Orleans laying 2.5 on the road and a total sitting at 236.5. This is a classic spot where the market is giving Indiana respect at home, but still pricing New Orleans as the better overall side. When you see Indiana getting points with the cover probability leaning their way, it tells you this should be a competitive game throughout, not a runaway. With the total pushed into the mid-230s, you're relying on sustained pace and efficiency for 4 full quarters, and that's a tough ask in a projected tight game. The pick here is Indiana plus 2.5 and under 236.5. Cavaliers versus 76ers has Cleveland getting 1.5 on the road with a total of 235. This line suggests a near coin flip game, and when the market gives Cleveland the points while keeping the total elevated, it opens the door for value on the underdog side. Close spreads tend to tighten late with more half-court possessions and fewer clean looks in transition. The pick in this matchup is Cleveland plus 1.5 and under 235. Bulls versus Nets is essentially a pick'em with Chicago plus 1 and Brooklyn minus 1, and the total sitting at 224.5. This is one of those games where the books are telling you not to expect separation. When the spread is this tight and the total isn't inflated, it points to a grinded-out type of flow rather than a shootout. That makes the under attractive, especially if both teams trade stretches of inefficient offense. The pick here is Chicago plus 1 and under 224.5. Clippers versus Raptors has Los Angeles laying 1.5 on the road with a total of 215.5. That total is low for today's NBA, and it signals a slower, more physical game. Toronto catching points at home fits the profile of a team expected to hang around deep into the fourth quarter. In these lower total games, every possession matters more, making the points even more valuable. The pick here is Toronto plus 1.5 and under 215.5. Timberwolves versus Rockets shows Minnesota laying 1 on the road with a total of 225.5. Houston getting points at home with a solid cover probability tells you this game is expected to stay tight. With the total sitting higher than the spread suggests, you're banking on pace staying consistent, which isn't always the case late in close games. That creates value on the underdog and the under combination. The pick here is Houston plus 1 and under 225.5. Wizards versus Kings has Washington catching 6.5 on the road and a total of 231.5. Sacramento is clearly respected at home, but this spread suggests Washington is still expected to compete. When you see a higher total paired with a decent size spread, it often looks better on paper than it plays out, especially if the favorite controls tempo late. That makes the points attractive and opens the door for a slower finish. The pick here is Washington plus 6.5 and under 231.5. Now listen to me, those are the free picks, but the one game I am unloading on tonight, the game that's going to crush your bookie's soul, that's the VIP play of the day at wspicks.com. This is the nuke, the hammer, the max bet, the one play I've circled, the game that will bury your bookmaker 6 feet under. When it hits, and it will, your bookie is going to need a doctor, a lawyer, and maybe even a priest. If you want to ride with me on the biggest bet of the day, get to wspicks.com right now. To recap today's NBA picks, we're on Indiana plus 2.5 and under 236.5 in Pelicans versus Pacers, Cleveland plus 1.5 and under 235 against Philadelphia, Chicago plus 1 and under 224.5 versus Brooklyn, Toronto plus 1.5 and under 215.5 against the Clippers, Houston plus 1 and under 225.5 versus Minnesota, and Washington plus 6.5 with under 231.5 against Sacramento. This is Winning Sport Picks, where we don't just bet, We bury bookmakers. Smash that subscribe button, drop your favorite plays in the comments, and hammer that like button like you're hammering your bookie into the dirt. We're cashing, we're dominating, and tonight we're dancing on the grave of your bookmaker. Let's go!